Although my Steam collection is vast, there are plenty of games in it I haven't touched or spent a lot of time on. Either I never gave them a good enough chance, or maybe it deserves a second try to impress me. That is exactly what we'll be doing in this episode of RatedEm. Yes, welcome back to the pseudo-series Steam Grab Bag, where I pick 3 random titles from my Steam collection to check out and compile into one video. If you haven't seen the previous 2 episodes, you can check them out via links in the description, but without further ado, let's dive into it. Before we delve into our first game, I want to remind you to subscribe if you haven't already. I currently run 2 big series on the channel, not counting this one. Those being the So What Happened series, where I take a look back on gaming's greatest failures, and Internet Mysteries, where I delve into the deepest corners of the World Wide Web. I also upload individual reviews for games I really love or really despise, so if any of that content interests you, join our community. Also, thank you for 1,300 subscribers. I'm still writing the 1,000 subscriber special, and I aim to have it up sometime in September. I'm also aiming to have the Cyberpunk review up before Phantom Liberty drops, as well as a special event towards the end of the month featuring a bunch of content creators, so long story short, big things are happening. Melody's Escape is a rhythm game where you must parkour over various obstacles to the beat of a song. Depending on the difficulty you play on, you'll either have to use the arrow keys to hit the notes, or you'll use WASD to hit colored notes, and the arrow keys to hit directional notes. One really cool thing about Melody's Escape is that you can upload your own MP3 files, and the game will generate a level based on the audio. It works with any audio you have, so it doesn't even have to be a song. I did try it with numerous songs I have downloaded, and it did a pretty good job at matching the tempo of the songs, but songs with iconic riffs or complicated melodies didn't really match up. I tried Freebird, as well as One by Metallica, expecting to be spamming buttons during both songs, but they didn't line up to the guitars. I could just be expecting too much from the AI, however. When you do get lucky and the AI matches up segments with certain parts of the song, it feels so good, and like I said earlier, it matches the tempo of your audio pretty damn well. I'm actually surprised that an indie game manages to have this good of technology built into it, but this could also just be something really simplistic to integrate, and I'm just ignorant. Overall, I had a fun time with this one. There's also a sequel out for it, I believe, so maybe pick up both of them if you're interested. Fantasy Strike is a fighting game designed for new entrants to the genre. The game features health bars that are split up into chunks, one-button specials, and other simplified controls, and limited movement. There's still combos, but with the lack of crouching and motion inputs, there isn't really a whole lot of variety to it. Luckily, characters do have unique gimmicks to them that leave matches feeling fresh and interesting enough. Moves will usually do 1 chunk of health, so it takes about 5 or 6 moves to end a round. They tried to make up for it by making matches a first to 4 format, but the game still ended up feeling really short. There's also a feature called the Yomi counter, where if you're grabbed, the game will automatically counter for you as long as you're not pressing any buttons. I originally found this mechanic really dumb, but there were so many times in my play session where I felt I should have Yomi countered. As someone who has played fighting games for years, the game is just too simplistic for me to get invested in. However, if you are a beginner in the fighting game genre, maybe try this one out to get a feel of the rhythm behind the genre. Fighting games carry a certain flow to them that other games don't really have, so to get that feel in an environment where everyone's pretty much on the same footing is really nice. I think it's really unique, but it's literally not made for me. It is free, however, so if this does look cool to you, it's available on Switch, PS4, and PC, I believe. Before we get into our last game, I want to let you guys know that I have a second channel. On RatedEm Live, I upload highlights of my live streams or just funny gaming sessions with friends. There's funny moments, reactions, all kinds of content on there, so if you like variety gaming videos, there's a link in the description to check the channel out. Hatred is a game. It is certainly a video game. It's the only game in this video that I didn't already own in my library. I specifically went out of my way to buy this one just for this video. Hatred is one of those few games to have ever received the infamous adults only rating, which, if you've never heard of, is a special rating from the ESRB for certain games that cross the line morally. Games with extreme sexual, violent, or sensitive material fit into this category. It is mostly porn games, but there's a few fucked up entries on that list. Hatred is one of those games. I've actually wanted to make either a video on disturbing games or a video entirely dedicated to Hatred and maybe the history behind it, because this game is just so unusual. I think that's the only word that comes to me to describe it. Hatred is a game where you play as a character simply named the Antagonist, a suicidal psychopath that, quote, hates this world and the human worms feeding on its carcass. His goal is to kill as many innocents as possible before he dies. The goal of hatred is to just kill people. Not kill bad people, not kill people who are attacking you. Just kill people. Now you're probably thinking, well, in GTA I can go on a similar murderous rampage and slaughter thousands of innocents. Why isn't that game rated adults only? My best guess is that going on a killing spree against innocents in GTA is at your own discretion. Meanwhile, in Hatred is the sole purpose of the game. And if your next argument is, why didn't No Russian give Modern Warfare 2 an adults only rating? My guess is because you don't actually have to shoot anyone in that mission. I don't know, I'm not an expert. I'm sure there's an explanation out there somewhere, but my best guess is just context. The objective of the game is to be a mass shooter. I feel like that can't be sitting on a shelf at GameStop. So, Hatred is a twin-stick shooter, a very rare genre in today's age. You start off with an AK and some grenades, and you can find additional weapons on your travels. To restore health, you have to perform glory kills on downed citizens. Let's put aside the game is morally bad stuff. Let's look at the game for what it is. Is it a good video game? In my personal opinion, it's boring as fuck. The quote-unquote charm, you could say, the game carries of like, oh yeah, I'm playing Hatred, I'm playing a disturbing and evil game, it just wears off so quickly. The game actually gets legitimately boring after only a few minutes. So not only is it a morally bad piece of media, it's just not a fun game either. If you want to get it, but honestly, I couldn't jive with Hatred. So that was another installment of Steam Grab Bag 3, another 3 games in the books. I actually really enjoy making these types of videos, and I think I might branch out to other platforms like a Game Pass grab bag, or maybe do a genre of games like social games. For the last one, think of like a collection of VR chat ripoffs. I'll be reviewing those. That's all I have for today. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.